This is the sales manager of our demo store, the World of Wines store, and you can see here there's a few orders here at the top, and what we want to do here is send dispatch emails to those customers so that they know that their orders have been dispatched. Now the great thing about RomanCart is that you can also have multiple dispatch emails per order. So if you're going to send part of the order today and another part next week or whenever, then you can configure RomanCart to send those different emails when you dispatch the items. Now before we actually go into the dispatch process, I just want to show you another thing here, which is at Tools, Options, Email. If we go to that screen, if I just scroll right down to the bottom, there's the configuration for the dispatch email here. You can set up an email address to copy the email to. You can set the subject line for the dispatch, and then various other things, the header code. And then there's some other subheader codes here, the headers that you can put in, depending on whether you enter a tracking code when we do the dispatch, and you'll see what I mean about that in a minute. But if you've got a tracking code from your courier, then you can set up headers in here so the tracking code is included in the header of the email which is sent to your customer. That's really useful and worth having a play with. And also you can set up a footer for the dispatched email as well. So if we go back to the sales manager. Okay, so if we take a look at this top order here, this is an order for Tom Nielsen, it's £4.99, and we want to dispatch that. So if I click on the dispatch icon there, then this is the screen, and it shows at the top of the screen what is in the order. So in this case we've got a quantity of one item is bottle of peas porter, and we want to dispatch that because that's all there is in the order. We want to send that out right now. You can enter the dispatch date, which is when it's going to be dispatched, and if the item is dispatched, you tick that box there. So we're not setting this up for the future, we want to dispatch this right away. If you want to create it as a dispatch but not actually dispatch it right away, then don't tick that box. Dispatch type, I don't know, we'll just put it next day, courier. You can enter what you like in there. The tracking code, in this case I'll say we don't have a tracking code from the courier, but you could put one in there if you do, and that would then be transposed into the subheader that we saw on the previous screen, and any other information that you want to enter there for your own benefit relating to that dispatch. And so we're going to keep this really simple. We'll just say next day courier, a bottle of peas, we're going to dispatch one, and we click on create dispatch. There we are, so you can see that the dispatch has been created. It's called dispatch 1. The creator info, it shows which user created it, the date of the dispatch, and the other information here. Next day courier, the fact that it's dispatched and what was in the dispatch. We can also view the email that's going to be sent to the customer by clicking on that link there. And this shows the email. It's an HTML email, so you can see it here in the browser. And once you confirm that that's exactly what you want to have, then you can click on send email there, and that will be sent to the customer. And in fact, here's the email here that's arrived to the customer, and you can see it's the same as what we previewed. But it's a nice message to the customer, just confirming that the order has been dispatched and that they can expect to receive it soon. So now if we go back to the sales manager, I'll show you now how to dispatch separate dispatches for a particular order. Now you can see, just to see the top order, you can see the shipping status there shows that it's been dispatched, as you would expect. So on this next order, we click on the dispatch icon. Here we are. So let's dispatch the bottle of peas porter and the champagne, but let's say the case of red wine comes from a different supplier. We don't want to dispatch it just yet. We're going to do that later. So I'll click on item is dispatched. Let's put next day courier in there, and then this time we will have a tracking code, ABC123, and this is some other information which is for our own benefit in there, and then we create that dispatch. So as you can see, we're not dispatching the case of red wine, just the top two items. So there we can see now the dispatch screen is showing dispatch 1 here, which shows all the details we just entered, and you can see still it says at the top items in this order not yet dispatched. We've got the case of red wine there, so we can create another dispatch for that, which we'll do in a minute. But on this one here, you can view the email, and it shows the two items in there. And in this case, because I entered a tracking reference, it's using the subheader that relates to having a tracking reference, and it shows here the tracking reference for this order is ABC123. Log on to mycouriers.com, whatever your website is. You'd need to speak to a courier to find out exactly where the tracking would take place there to see the tracking status. So all that information gets sent to the customer. Really useful. So then we click on the send email link there, which will then send that email to the customer. Back on the sales manager, you can see it now says some dispatch. There's the shipping status, and the icon here shows a kind of part progress bar. on the parcel, which shows that it's been part dispatched. So we want to dispatch the rest of this. So let's click on that there. As we can see here, there's one case of red wine left. So we type 1 in there. We'll dispatch this now. Some more other information we'll put in there. So this should complete the order because we're dispatching the remainder. So as we can see here now, there's 2 dispatches. It shows exactly when they were sent, the date and time, and it says at the top, all items in this order have been allocated to a dispatch. And if we click on the back button to go back to the sales manager, then you can see now that it's all been dispatched. Actually, the other thing we could of course have done on that was to send the email. So just looking at this again here, you can of course view the email there, just to check it's exactly what we expected. 1 case of red wine. Delete that and click on send email. So that sends the email to the customer. And of course you can resend the email just by clicking on send again. So both those orders have been completely dispatched now. Another thing you can do on here as well is you can return items too. So if we click on the dispatch for this one at the top, then imagine we've sent this dispatch out, the bottle of peas porter, which we'd already sent out. Imagine we'd sent this out a few days ago or whatever. You can actually, if you click on show all, it will show the details of the entire order again. And you can use this as well if you, for example, if you do a dispatch and it turns out that something you'd forgotten to put an item in or something like that, then you can add an extra dispatch using this method. But in this case, let's put -1. Just put order returned, no tracking code, no, you don't need to click on dispatch. So just put -1 in there and create dispatch. You can see here that it shows that the item, the bottle of peas porter there, quantity dispatch -1, has been returned. It shows that in red there. So you can very quickly look down here to see exactly what happened with this order. Really useful again. If we click on the back button to go back to the sales manager, so you can see that with RomanCart you can create dispatches, either to dispatch the entire order or to dispatch part of an order at a time, and also you can mark parts of an order as being returned back to you.